In this video, I'm talking to Crooks about hypnotherapy, what it is and what it is not, and how it feels to be under hypnosis. And if you are curious what hypnosis has to do with voice and vocal problems, then stay tuned because we will be talking about that too. Hi, I am Katarina, speech-language pathologist, and here on this channel I share practical tips about using your voice in a healthy way. So if this is a topic that interests you, consider subscribing to this channel and hitting that bell notification icon so that you don't miss any of my future videos. And today I am so excited to talk to Crooks, my dear friend and colleague. Katie is a hypnotherapist, voice teacher, and vocalist. She helps people recover from stress and anxiety around voice issues, performance anxiety, stage fright, and self-sabotage. She taught singing and voice for 20 years, and she also worked professionally as a performer. But at some point in her career, she recognized that many people's voice issues came from a mental or emotional block. For example, stress was causing vocal tension, or a belief that they got from childhood was making them self-sabotage or hate the sound of their voice. And therefore, Katie decided to train to become a hypnotherapist, and now she helps people all over the world with voice, performance, and confidence. I will post links to Katie's resources in the comments below, so make sure to check them out after you watch this video. So now, let's meet Katie. Hi Katie, it's so great to have you here, and I'm so excited that we are actually going to talk about hypnotherapy and hypnosis and let our viewers know what it really is, because I believe there are a lot of misconceptions about what it is, what to expect, how it is helpful. So yes. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm so excited to be here.
So let's just dive right into it, okay? When I told my husband that I am going to talk to you about hypnotherapy and hypnosis, he immediately brought up his experience from a long time ago when he went to Las Vegas. He experienced this weird show where people got hypnotized on the stage and they were doing weird things. So tell us, please, what is hypnosis and what it is not?
You know what? Before I say that, I have to start by saying, do you know how many people in the world would use hypnosis to heal their problems if they didn't have that image of hypnosis? It's crazy. So what is hypnosis? Hypnosis is, in a nutshell, is a beautifully empowering process where you're in control and I guide you into relaxation. And in that lovely state, your subconscious mind is more open to the change that you want. So if you have a self-sabotaging belief like I'm not good enough or I always fail or whatever, that's not truth. It's just a belief. And so when we work with the subconscious mind, we can heal that inner belief that's been standing in your way. And the subconscious mind houses our beliefs, our emotions, our memories, our muscle responses, our fight-flight response, our stress levels, and all of those things that we try and control with willpower, but they all live in the subconscious mind. So with hypnosis, the beautiful thing about it is that we can go straight into that part of the mind and we heal it there. And I use the word heal because it's not about control or manipulation like the stage hypnosis people get you to think. It's actually very, very empowering because you're completely in control and you've experienced hypnosis now, so you understand that.
Yes, and I like that you said it maybe 3 times now that you are in full control. So 100%. It's not something that suddenly you become someone else you don't want to be. Last time we spoke, you gave me an example of a skateboarder, and I could relate to that so much that you cannot make someone a great skateboarder after a hypnosis session, right?
Unless they want to be one. But yeah, exactly. And if somebody's not prepared to change, then they won't change. If I tried to hypnotize you to rob a bank, you would open your eyes and look at me and go, no. It's just not going to happen unless you wanted to rob a bank, and that's a different story, but we won't go there. So yeah, it's not physically possible for you to be hypnotized to do anything, because you're not in a blackout. People think it's this blackout where you're completely, your eyes are closed and you're all. If a fire alarm went off during a session, you'd open your eyes, you'd probably take a couple of deep breaths, and then you'd get up and you'd walk out, because your conscious mind is always there being in charge.
Yeah, and I love the word safe. It's safe. It's absolutely safe. And I know how it feels, but can you tell us, what should people expect when they are going for a hypnotherapy? What does it feel like? I know what it feels in my body, and I am a very visual person, so I see a lot of pictures and images. But what do people, how do they experience hypnosis?
Such a good question. Yeah, such a good question. So different people experience hypnosis in different ways. So some people will feel light and sort of tingly. Other people will feel like they're heavy and they're sinking into a relaxation. Some people feel like they just go so deep. Other people feel as if their mind is constantly super alert and they're listening to every single word I say. And it's all, everyone still experiences hypnosis. Everyone in the world can experience hypnosis. We go into the state all the time. And the beauty of it is that the language of your subconscious is color, texture, metaphor, sounds, tastes, smells, all the things that don't make sense logically, your memories, your habits, your beliefs, all of those things are held in the subconscious, the 90% of the iceberg that Freud talks about, And that's why the language of the subconscious mind is metaphor and analogy. And so if I talk to you about a beautiful color pouring in through the top of your head and relaxing you and pouring through you and washing you clean of unhelpful beliefs, then the conscious mind might go, that's just an image. But the subconscious mind totally gets that, because that's how it works. And that's why a lot of hypnosis sessions often involve imagery and storytelling. Some storytelling is incredibly powerful. Metaphor, analogy, those things are a big part of it. And you're a very visual thinker. So that's why in our sessions, I'll use a lot of visuals with you. So I'll say, imagine a beautiful beach and the water is a bright blue and you can see the sunlight sparkling in the water. But if I work with someone else who will say to me things like, just doesn't feel right, or it feels like it's a really icky feeling, then I'll recognize that they work on feelings rather than visuals. And so I'll often do things like, imagine the feeling of your shoulders relaxing, or it's all about feeling.
I didn't know that you can work with all of these sensations. I thought it's mostly visual or maybe auditory, but it's a whole holistic experience, right?
Yeah. And the great thing is about it is that when we first connect, I'll be listening out for whether you are a visual person or an auditory or any of these things. But the lovely thing is that when you do hypnosis a lot, you're training yourself to get good at all of them. And so I'll often guide you into feeling things or smelling the beautiful fragrances of the flowers in your safe place or whatever it is that we're doing at the time. And you can actually train yourself to become more of the other modalities.
Or my viewers know that I help people who experience vocal tension, strain, or even pain. So now let's bring these two worlds together. People who experience vocal tension, strain, or even pain and hypnotherapy? How do they come together?
Well, this is where I'd love to introduce a bit more of my story. I started out as a voice teacher, so I've taught singing for 20 years and spoken voice for about 8 or 9 years maybe. And in that time, I started to realize that people's mental and emotional blocks were inhibiting their voice more than the technique. And I would, work with them to get their breath flow working beautifully, or their posture. And then they'd go away and they'd come back the next week and they'd be like this again. And I'd be thinking, well, we've worked on that. Why are they not? And the reason was because they had been told as a child, whatever it was they'd been told, that had made them hide and shrink and feel like I'm not good enough. And that caused the shrinking. And I realized that if we could heal the emotional and mental blocks, then the posture, the physical work is going to be so much quicker, because they're not going to revert back to those old habits. Hypnosis is incredibly powerful for a number of things. One of them is creating new habits, because you're literally wiring new neurological pathways in the brain. It's also incredible for pain reduction.
I know that to reduce pain, whether it's vocal pain or any pain in your body, you need to rewire your brain and how it perceives those sensations from your body. So I can imagine how beautiful hypnotherapy is for reducing vocal pain.
It's amazing, and it's so beautiful. There are so many beautiful devices that you can use for that. One of my favorites is the pain dial. You can rehearse in your mind with guidance how to register what level of pain you're feeling, and then to turn the dial down. And because the subconscious mind works on metaphor and analogy and imagery and so on, that dial is incredibly powerful, because as you turn it down, you can feel that releasing, that letting go. So I've used that for things like jaw tension, like TMJ gripping, because in the past I've had habits that I've had to work on releasing that. And in my experience, the jaw tension, the pain would come from anger. If I was feeling angry about something, I would grip, and then I realized, and I would have to let go of that gripping, and the dial helped me reduce that holding, that gripping, and turn it down and down and down. And so both pain and tension can be beautifully reduced when you become a master of the art of the dial. That's just one technique. There are so many.
It's a beautiful example. So thank you for sharing that. Katie, can you tell us what you are up to right now? What are you working on?
I am so excited. Thank you so much for asking. So although I'm continuing to teach singing and teach voice and all of that, I'm creating a program. It's a 12-week specialist program for people with anxiety around performing or sharing their stuff with the world. So I'm making it specifically for singers, speakers, dancers, musicians, gymnasts, performers, although what the work is relevant to anyone who wants to share their skills, their talents with the world. And it's a 12-week program where we do a deep dive into healing the mental and emotional blocks that have been really sabotaging your success. So we work with healing the part of you that is making you hide from the world, or perhaps the inner judge that's been criticizing and blaming and stopping you from sharing your stuff with the world. So we heal some really deep-rooted stuff.
That sounds amazing. That sounds absolutely amazing. We'll have some links below this video, right? So go and check them. Thank you so much, Katie, for coming here. And we are going to make another video where you are going to guide us through a short hypnotherapy session, right? So I look forward to that. But for now, let's say thank you very much. It was a privilege to have you here, and hopefully we'll talk soon.
Talk soon. Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.
What do you think? Let me know in the comments below what you think about hypnotherapy and voice problems. If you want to experience a short hypnosis check out part 2 video in which Katie will guide us through a short hypnotherapy session. If you are experiencing vocal strain, tension, or even pain when speaking, and you are ready to work with me towards a free, strong, and confident voice, check out my links in the description below this video to see how I can help. If you found this video helpful, click the like button and share it with your friends. And come back for part 2 of this video in which Katie will guide us through a short hypnotherapy session. I hope to see you soon. Bye!